If you've been in real estate for more than 5 minutes, you already know Zillow changed the game and not exactly in our favor. It's frustrating when your own clients get poached by agents they never even meant to work with just because they clicked the wrong button. And if you're tired of chasing the next big thing that promises leads but delivers nothing but headaches, you're not alone. Today, I'm going to show you a 15-minute hack that flips Zillow's system to work for you, helping you pick up free leads without paying for ads or buying overpriced zip codes. This is the exact method I personally use to bring in real estate clients without spending a dime on lead platforms, and I'm giving you the whole playbook for free. My name is Levi Jones. I'm the founder and head coach at Guerrilla Realty, and this isn't theory or influencer talk. Let me show you two quick real-world wins from this strategy. First, we got Mike from North Carolina. He landed a listing appointment off a FSBO call using this exact playbook, literally during the last time we did live training on this. And Danielle down in Orlando pulled in a $400K listing by showing a FSBO how to fix their broken Zillow listing. No fancy ads, no gimmicks. And if they can do it, you can do it too. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how. Plus, I'm giving you exact access to all the tools, templates, scripts, tutorials you'll need to put it into action immediately. There's no hidden upsell, no high ticket course lurking at the end of this, just real stuff that works. All I ask is that if you get value out of this, like the video, share it with a friend, and leave a comment letting me know that you did. Once you comment, I'll send you a private link to grab the full playbook and tools for free. Let's jump in. Let me give you a quick peek at what we'll cover during this video. First, we're going to talk about how to flip a Zillow listing. Most agents waste time and money fighting for attention online, but Zillow listings already have thousands of buyers scrolling through them. I'll show you how to tap into that traffic without paying Zillow a dime and how to flip FSBO listings into real high-quality leads without any awkward cold calling. You'll learn how to turn frustrated FSBO sellers into warm, trusting prospects by offering real value first, not cheesy sales tactics. Number two, we're going to talk about how to give you 2 phone calls that will turn into 1 listing. Now, forget spending hours chasing down FSBOs or following up endlessly just to get ignored. I'm giving you the exact 2-call system that agents across the country are using to consistently lock down listings in just minutes a day. We'll even give you the complete scripts you can copy and paste so you'll know exactly what to say on both calls to secure real appointments and real deals. And finally, we'll talk about how to build this into an evergreen lead machine. Success in real estate isn't about chasing every new idea. It's about building simple, repeatable systems that work month after month. So I'll walk you through how to turn this Zillow flipping strategy into a weekly habit that brings in steady flow of listings, buyer leads, without getting burned out or wasting money. Imagine having a consistent pipeline of clients without ever worrying about where your next deal is coming from again. When most people hear flip a listing, they picture rehabbing houses. But that's not what we're here talking about. This is about flipping the situation, helping frustrated for sale by owner sellers reposition their Zillow listings so real buyers can actually connect with someone who knows how to guide the deal across the finish line, instead of their listing becoming just another lost lead in Zillow's system. We show them exactly how to create a direct path to real results. So let's break down how that opportunity works. Whether you like Zillow or hate Zillow, consumers flock to it to look for real estate. In fact, it's become a verb, just like, hey, I Googled something, hey, I Zillowed a house, right? In fact, the average real estate listing gets hundreds or thousands of views every single month. It's a very, very powerful site. And you contrast that to the average real estate website from an agent, which gets about 12 visitors per month. It's very obvious that the consumers have spoken. They've chosen where they're going for real estate searches, and it's not the average real estate website. Now, in addition to that, about half of those viewers on Zillow plan to buy or sell a property within 105 days. We're talking dream clients here, and those clients have a family income over $100,000. Again, these are the people that these are the dream clients. These are the people that we would want to search for. Very, very powerful. Now, the problem is this only benefits you if you're among the 92,000 premier agents or if you're on one of these flex teams. And the reality is it costs thousands of dollars a month to be one of these agents. So if you're just starting out or if you're having a hard time justifying the ROI there, you're like, well, it sounds like dream clients. I can't afford to spend thousands of dollars to generate, one or two clients. So you're in a little bit of a pickle. How do you take advantage of the power of Zillow? And the reality is, if you run our Zillow jacking playbook, which I'm going to walk you through today, you're able to. Okay. Any good business is built around solving problems for their customers. Now, here's the problem. And I have a for sale by owner listing up here on Zillow. You guys have seen it before. Interestingly, the problem that for sale by owners have, that the owners have, is the exact same problem that you run into as a real estate agent. See, Zillow puts these real estate listings up, but their business model is around generating leads for their premier agents or their flex teams. And so all of the calls to action are built around funneling leads, not necessarily connecting with them, the consumer, with the person who can best help them. So who could best help someone know about this property that's listed for sale by owner? Probably the owner, right? Not an agent who's unconnected. Unfortunately, the biggest button there is, hey, contact an agent. Now, it gives you the impression that this is an agent that's connected with this home, but we all know that this is whoever's paid the piper. Now, if you start looking for the owner information, and in fact, this changes all the time. If you go on a for sale by owner listing this week, it might be different from next week. They're constantly moving it around. It's actually pretty difficult. You're looking on this listing, how do I contact the owner? And the reality is, it's up here, and you sort of skip over it unless you really know what you're looking for. And it's in like the smallest font, listed by property owner. It has the phone number. Hopefully I didn't out them. Maybe I got them some additional traffic on this house. But that's the problem. And it's the same problem that you have on your listings, right? Your listings get syndicated to Zillow. You're nowhere to be found. You're like in tiny font somewhere on the property. And in the meantime, all of these leads are being siphoned off to other agents. In other words, the very thing that this property owner is trying to avoid by listing it for sale by owner is agents. And that's what Zillow, the most popular real estate search site, is sending them to. So how can we help them solve this problem? That's what flipping a listing is about. We're often taught that getting listings is a complicated numbers game. Endless cold calls, mailers, lead gen funnels. But when you really break it down, it's way simpler than that. It's not about hundreds of contacts. It's about a few of the right type of conversations. I'm going to show you a framework where just 2 strategic phone calls can open the door to securing one listing. Here's how you need to think about it. All right, so 2 phone calls. Now, before I get into the actual script itself, I want to set the stage for you. Remember, we're solving a problem for this potential for sale by owner. The problem we're solving is they're not getting top billing on their own listing. The way that we're going to solve that problem is we're going to create something of value for the consumers, and then we're going to figure out a way to present that thing of value with a call to action and give us and the FSBO or the owner top billing on their own listing. I know that sounds crazy, but we're going to help them solve that problem. So here's phone call number 1. It's all about setting the appointment. The script will go like this. Now, quick pro tip. You don't want to be a fast talker. You don't want to sound like a salesman. In fact, it actually helps to slow down your cadence and maybe even sound a little bit confused. So when I call, I say, hey, is this the owner of, insert the address. I hate to bother you. I'm so sorry. I'm a realtor, and I was wondering if I could come by and take some videos of the property. Now, let's back up for a second. Remember, they've probably been called by 40, 50, 100 desperate real estate agents, all trying to list their house. So we're trying to break that mold, but that customer is going to be very, very skeptical, and they're not going to understand. They're going to think that you're just like every one of the other 40 or 50 other agents who called. So they're probably going to respond with, why? They're going to respond with skepticism. And so then you're going to tell them the truth. Now, with FSBO approaches, this is actually a very novel approach. How many of you probably have heard the FSBO approach? Probably one of the most common. I won't call out any coaches that teach this approach, but they say, hey, I have a buyer. I want to come by and show the buyer. And then you show up without a buyer with a listing presentation instead, the classic bait and switch. And quite frankly, it is effective, but I don't think these types of relationships are great to start out with dishonesty or a lie. So instead, I'd love for you to tell the truth. Now, one thing that we and don't say this next part of the script if you are not genuinely telling the truth. But we'll say, hey, I get a lot of out of town buyers. I like to have video walkthroughs to save them a trip. So I'd love to send you a picture of my realtor ID card just so you know who I am, who I say I am. Okay. Now, if that's not the truth, don't say it. If you don't get out of town buyers, or if you don't get potential buyers who are interested in this property, don't say it. But what else could you say? Well, hey, the pictures don't really do it justice. I'd actually like to just come see the property, in person, and take some photos and videos, have a video walkthrough. I don't want to, traipse a bunch of potential buyers through your house. I'll have it. And then I can, if someone shows more interest, I can come by and show them. In other words, you're creating value by not only creating this video, but also helping them find a buyer, which again, that's what they're interested in. Okay. Now, when you create that value, most FSBOs or most owners are going to be, they're going to be at least, "Oh, I don't mind." And then you're setting the appointment. So you can, if of course, if it's vacant, they can text you the code and you can sort of wrap up the call at this point. Again, you're not trying to list the property on this first phone call. All you're trying to do is provide some value by creating this listing video and helping them potentially market it, find buyers. All right. Step 2 is you're going to actually create the listing video. And now some of you are terrified here. You're like, I don't know anything about listing videos. Well, we have Listing Cake. It's a free tool that we've created. It's at listingcake.com. We've created a video on how to use Listing Cake. It's very, very simple. You're going to take photos that you've taken with your phone. You don't have to have fancy video equipment, lighting, anything like that. Photos that you've taken with your phone, maybe a few short video clips, and you're going to splice them together using Listing Cake. It literally takes 5 minutes. Even a toddler can do it. You do not have to be some sort of super video editor. And in fact, then you're going to create an overlay. The system has some built in that will have some small facts about the property. You're going to choose some background music, and then you're going to hit go. Listing Cake does the work. It puts everything together. It puts the overlay on top of it. It's going to look like a professional listing video without you spending hours and without you having to have some sort of special video editing knowledge. But once you create this amazing listing video for free, by the way, you're going to be ready for the next call. Phone call number 2. We're going to say, hey, Joe, whatever their name is, I stopped by yesterday to see the property. I took some photos, videos. It's a great property. Why in the world would we want to sell it? Now, it really doesn't matter how they answer this next piece, but what we're trying to drill into is like, hey, what is their motivation? Are they relocating? Are they upgrading? Whatever the case may be, we're trying to find out what their motivation is. It also conveys an interest. Hey, I'm actually interested in you as a person. This is the basis of relationship, right? I'm not telling you guys anything crazy or new here. And then we show them the value that we've created. We say, hey, I finished the video. It turned out awesome. Would you like to see it? Now, I have never asked somebody if they want to see it and they say no here. Okay. I created a cool listing video. In fact, I create tons of these videos for myself. If an agent came by and took some video and created one, I'd be interested in seeing what they came up with. This is something that absolutely they're going to want to see. And so we can, at that point, send them a link. We can text them, hey, here's the YouTube link, or I could post it to your Facebook, I'll email it to you, whatever the case may be. Okay. Now, after you've developed that, you've built some trust at this point. And so now we're going to identify the problem that they have with their Zillow listing. Again, it's the same problem that you have. So it's very easy to empathize. As a listing agent, we don't get top billing on our own listings. And so I'm going to say, hey, I don't know if you know this, but Zillow makes it actually really hard to find your phone number. It was like, I had to scour that thing. It was like in a footnote on your own listing. And you probably even saw it that other sponsored agents, huge contact agent button are all over your listing. Now, when you identify that problem, they're going to go, oh, I know. They're going to immediately know what you're talking about. Okay. And when they empathize, you say, yeah, it's the same problem I have on my listings. In fact, I have a way to solve it. I can help you get top billing on your listing. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to overlay on that first photo a simple call to action that would say, hey, for a free video tour, text this code to this number. Now, truth is, I'd be happy to set that up for you. It's really easy on my end. I already have all the tools collected. And if you're interested, I'd be happy to do it for you. Now, when you offer them that, again, they're going to be skeptical. They're going to say, well, why would you want to do that for me? Right? They're not going to most of the time, they're not going to immediately go, sure, that sounds great. They're going to go, well, why? And that's when, again, you tell them the truth. You say, well, look, here's the deal. If one of these people buy your house, I'd love to help connect you with them. But if there's 30 people that ultimately respond to that message and come in, I'd love first crack at the other 29 to help them find a different house as well. And that's why I'd be willing to let you use my tools and help you market the property better, help you get top billing on your own listing. That's what's in it for me. Most FSBOs connect with that message, the truth, and they go, okay, well, that sounds okay. And that's when you do the final step here, which is actually branding their photo. We've made phone call number 1. We've built a video on Listing Cake. We've made phone call number 2. So far, we've spent less than 15 minutes on the phone, spent $0. This last step here is running the photos through our photo branding tool. Again, we're also going to spend $0 here as well, because our photo branding tool just creates an overlay on top of the main listing photo, so that the first thing the consumers see is going to have our call to action. This is what the overlay looks like. We're going to go to photobrand.io, and we're going to create this call to action, very simple call to action for video tour. Text this code to this phone number. Now, when we present this to the owner, the for sale by owner, we're going to give them a choice between 2 yeses. We're going to say, look, I could set this up with a code in your cell phone number, or if you'd like, I could actually set this up with my text autoresponder. Now, what does that mean? Well, when someone texts this code to your cell phone, you're going to have to, whether it's in the middle of the night, whether you're busy with other stuff, you're going to have to reply back with a YouTube link. They're going to expect that, and they're going to get annoyed if you don't reply back. If we set it up with the autoresponder, it'll actually automatically reply back with the YouTube link and the information about the property. And it'll do that at all hours. It works 24/7 for you. Again, I'd be happy to let you borrow that for the reasons we've talked about before. Now, when you create this on the photo brand, all you're doing is choosing a theme. So you're choosing Zillow, Trulia, realtor.com, depending on where you're branding this photo. And then you're typing in the call to action, and it looks like it's native to the Zillow platform. Okay. So when that photo is up there, it doesn't look way out of place or like something's rigged up. It actually looks like Zillow put that overlay on the photo. Now, I know we've had some involved steps here, but it is well worth it, because once you get to the end here, you've now helped a FSBO in a way that's really promising. And here's the most important part, particularly if you've set up that text autoresponder, you now have leads. You've spent $0. You've hacked Zillow. You've flipped a Zillow listing. And so now you have, on average, somewhere between 10 and 30 leads, depending on how popular the listing is, how early you catch it, et cetera. And the average that we've seen is about 13 buyer leads. In addition, you set yourself up as the agent for that for sale by owner. Now, here's the cool part. We know statistically 82% of all for sale by owners ultimately list with a real estate agent. Now, are they going to go with some rando who cold called them one day? Or are they going to go with the agent who's provided some value, built some trust, displayed their competency as a real estate agent and a marketer? And the answer is obvious. Of course, it's going to be you. Of course, it's going to be the one who's already developed that relationship with them. Most marketing strategies burn out fast. They work for a month or two, and then they dry up. Now, if you want consistent, reliable deal flow, you need something different, a system that compounds over time. In this part, we'll dig into the architecture behind building an evergreen lead machine, a setup that keeps producing leads while you focus on higher level moves. So let's lay the groundwork. To make this whole thing a repeatable process, we got to start with a lot of FSBO leads. And so the best way to get FSBO leads for free is at FizBonanza.com. I've shown you guys a lot of our free tools. We've talked about Listing Cake. We've talked about our photo branding tool. This is my favorite, FizBonanza.com. Again, it's completely free. It's one of the things we do here is we build tools for real estate agents that work. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And once I sign in, all I have to do is type in a zip code, a city, etc. Now, it already has my last search already saved in there. And you'll see right away, I have 81 different results for the surrounding areas. FSBOs all over, listed up to 6 months ago. Okay. And so I could immediately just start calling through these FSBOs. But to make this a repeatable process, I want to go ahead and subscribe to a search. In fact, I'm already subscribed. You guys know this. When you subscribe to a search, it will automatically deliver any brand new FSBOs that are listed once a week to your inbox. Now, here's the cool part. I do this about once a week, and every time I call through the new FSBOs that come online, I don't have to call hundreds. I don't have to have 4-hour call sessions. In fact, my goal is to set 2 appointments. That's it. If I can set 2 appointments with that phone call number 1 script, I know that ultimately that will result in about 1 listing. Again, statistically speaking, I'm going to sign 1 listing for every 2 appointments that I make. Remember, those 2 appointments are also going to turn into 13 buyer leads on average each when I brand the photo and set up the branding. So the cool part here is that no matter if I get the listing or not, I'm generating leads from that listing. And again, I'm relying on statistics. I know that 82% of all owners, for sale by owners, ultimately list with the real estate agent. So there's a high likelihood that I'm going to get the listing. But again, I don't have to call dozens and dozens. To get 2 appointments, I usually have to call between 5 and 10 FSBOs. So altogether, we're talking about very, very minimal time investment. If you're willing to get out of your comfort zone, make a couple of cold calls, not the traditional kind of cold calls where we have to be super salesy, but cold calls where we get to just be a human being, start a relationship, build trust, add value. And again, it starts with having a lot of these leads, and then you have to repeat it each and every week. If you're subscribed to FizBonanza, it'll send you that new list of FSBOs every single week. All you have to do is open up that email, start calling through these leads. I appreciate you staying with me to the end. If you want the complete swipe file with all the tools and resources you need to get started, here's how you can get it. Just like this video, share it with a friend, and leave a comment letting me know that you did. Once you comment, I'll send you a private link where you can access everything. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future videos and getting consistent real estate clients. That's what we're about here. So we appreciate you being here, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Look, we've doubled our real estate business 3 times since 2019. If you want the full breakdown, exact scripts, step-by-step processes, and our brand new tool, drop a comment below.
No gimmicks, no paywalls. We're sending it completely free because we know it works.
Just type "send it" in the comments and we'll get it to you ASAP.
And if this was helpful, stick with us. We're dropping more strategies twice a week. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next.